Well, hello guys, here we are again at on the MINCE server, and this is my newest addition to the server, my automatic item sorter, and also it is connected to an automatic smelting slash cooking machine. So I will go over the second part of what I just said at the end of this. So as you can see, I have many chests here labelled, which a lot of people have already. They have this sort of a thing in terms of, you know, this is the sort of storage system they've got. However, I never have to come in and manually put blocks of sandstone in there, or blocks of sand, for example. So if you have a look, there's no sand in this chest. Okay. Now, the way my item sorter machine works is you basically come up to the top. Now again, this is not, this is only my design built into the existing house. So we have many other people's houses, but I've had to confine this into my existing building. But anyway, if you come in here, and on the left here is just a basic item sorter. So if you don't want to put it through the smelter, you can put it in this one. You can put any items in here as well, however it just does take a slightly longer route because it has to go through a secondary item sorter to see whether the item can in fact be smelted or cooked, like for food. And if it can be, it'll put it through the processes and put it through furnaces and remove the cooked food and take it to the smelter, take it to the item sorter rather. Whereas if you know that you are going to be putting an item in that you don't want cooked, then you basically just put it in here. So let's just do sand, for example. Now you'll see it ticking away there. That's because I have hoppers underneath this chest taking it through to that bottom room. So directly beneath us here is that room that I'm about to take you to. You can see here. Now, it's going to bring it down a series of pipes here. I can't really show you the pipes, but there's a set of hoppers coming down here behind this bookshelf around here, and it runs through all of these hoppers that have a failsafe switch on them to show you whether they can or cannot be filtered down into the box. Now the way it works is, so for the sand one, you can see here comes the sand now. So that's quite simple. That was just the sand. Now the way it works is basically you've got a whole line of these. Now if you have a look for the glass, there's a whole line of these all pointing towards each other. Actually there's another line above that doing that rather, and then this one is the failsafe one. So if all the hoppers up above are pointing towards each other, then the item will always go forward unless the item is allowed to go down. So in this case, the hopper above it is empty. However, this hopper is only allowing sand or jungle saplings. The saplings don't need to be saplings, they're just a fail-safe item to fill up the hoppers, because I had a lot of hoppers to fill up. You can use whatever you want, but if you're going to throw in jungle saplings, then you've just got to realise that in the very like I've got jungle saplings in all of these, and if you're going to use jungle saplings, then this box will not only contain oak saplings and dirt, but it will also pick up any jungle saplings that you throw in, because that will cause an overflow problem. Anyway, point being, getting back to this sand one, is that we have filled it up with an appropriate amount of items. There is a comparator behind that one. If you can see, there's a comparator right there, right in my crosshairs. And so basically it's outputting a signal, one strength, one redstone signal strength. It's a bit hard to explain for people who are not very familiar with redstone. If you are familiar with redstone, then sorry for me making this too simple for you. But basically, if you've got an output of 22 items is one redstone signal, if that makes sense. Once you put 23, I don't know what the actual limit is above that. I'm guessing it would be 44. So once you go from 22 items in here, which there is, so there's 5, 10, 15, 20, 22, once another sand block gets into there, it sends off another redstone signal from the comparator, because it's reading that there's 23 items in there for a split second, and it allows one item to flow through. So it'll allow the first item in the hopper to flow through, because these are all queued up to flow through. So if the item going in is sand, it'll drop one more sand through at a time, and it will always leave the 2 in there. Now I've only set it up with 5 and 2. You can set it up with 21 and 1, or you can even just put 22 of the same item. It doesn't matter how you do it, as long as you don't put all different items in here, because then every time a new item comes in, it will feed in, and yes. So anyway, point being, you've got 22 items in, and then each time a new item comes down, it drops straight into the chest. So that's that one. Now that goes on this level, and then it also comes to this end, and we have a sugarcane chest here. This last hopper doesn't actually connect to this chest. It goes straight down to the bottom, to the second floor, and then weaves its way along. Let's go along back here. If you have a look here, so it comes straight down into this chest, into this hopper right here, and as you can see, these are all facing into one another all the way along. These have no items in them at all. They're just basically used as piping. But the hopper below always has priority. So if an item can go down, it will. But in this case, this one is only accepting cactus, because it has no other room. And again, so if you try and put an oak sapling or a piston or something, it will not accept it, because it's not receiving that sort of item. It's classed as full, so it will try the next one. And no, it won't try that one, so it'll just keep going along until it finds the piston one, and then it will drop it into that one. It will put off one more redstone signal to trigger this block of redstone here, which goes underneath and triggers the hopper to flow through. So it's not an entirely simple design. I mean, on this sort of scale, it took me forever, but thank God I've got an iron farm, as you saw up the top there, that is also linked in. So on the second floor, I'm up to about here with items, and I've kind of run out of items of things that I would need to put in. So anyway, this is where I'm up to. I've still got a few more levels to go, and I'm also going to add some more items that can be smelted. So anyway, that's my auto item sorter. I'll show you just very, very briefly how it works if we just chuck a whole bunch of stuff in there. So we can chuck it in either one. So just as a demonstration, I'll chuck, say, 32 blocks of wood in there, another bit of glowstone in there, another bit of feathers in there. How about I put some pistons in here in the cooking one, just so you can see it won't stuff it up, and some pumpkins. Put some more glowstone in there. How about some more dirt and feathers, and I don't actually I didn't make one for pumpkin pie. I could go and do that, and I can put some arrows in there. Okay, so those two are sorting out items, and they're making their way through the system. If I were to put potatoes, in fact, I'll do that. I'll put some wood and I'll put some potatoes in there, and you'll see that they will get cooked. Oak wood planks, very, very simple. Do I have any coal? I'm not sure whether I've got any coal in here. Coal? Come on, coal. I think I've already sorted the coal. I have. Oh no, here we go. Yeah. This is my old system. This is all going to get revamped and ripped up now. Anyway, so if I put all this stuff in here, again, it will not clog up. This will all just get filtered out exactly the same way as anything else, and then get put down in the item sorter. So if you come down here, this is my little auto cooker room at the moment. So I've just labelled this. This is pretty much just like another sorting machine. However, instead of just coming to a set of chests, so like cobblestone comes down and gets sorted into this chest, but instead it gets fed into a furnace, and it's as simple as that. So there's no extra tricks or anything in there. If you have a look here, the cobblestone comes down into that hopper, into there, gets fed into the top, and you can see this one's already starting to cook. So that would be, I'm guessing that's the potatoes that I put in, and it's already fed the wood through, maybe? I can't tell. Here we go, it's fed the wood through. So it's using the wood to cook the potatoes. It just basically uses whatever's the simplest. You don't have to make it that complex. You can literally just have one furnace and one input for fuel and one input, one output. Whereas I wanted to make sure I was still having it on an industrial level. And as you can see, that was just an iron golem that got knocked over, and he got his iron bars and roses got put into the auto sorter as well. So we'll head downstairs and we'll see these things get put into the chest. So I can't even remember what I put in, but they're all in here somewhere. So cooked potatoes, 51 cooked potatoes. One of those will come out again. We'll just, there we go, 52 cooked potatoes. So what I have is I've actually got my farm hooked up to it. So I basically just I basically just harvest the potatoes and let them go straight through the cooker and go from there. I don't have to really think too much about it. The only thing is with that, if you have all of your farms going through that one, then you run out of potatoes eventually because it will cook every single one of them. But it's very rarely a problem. I've got chests and chests and chests of potatoes, so I've actually got a side one that also auto harvests into another chest. So anyway, guys, that's my. Oh, I put some arrows in, didn't I? There they are, 29 arrows. I put a pumpkin. Oh, the pumpkin mustn't have gotten through yet. But yeah, it sorts. It takes about 30-40 seconds for each one to come through. I honestly can't remember what the hell I put through, but yeah. But yeah, again, if I wanted to auto bypass the cooker, then that's very, very, very simple. I just put them straight through and go from there. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like, or if you want to see a bit of a tutorial on how it's done, I did give you a little bit of a demonstration there, or a bit of explanation, but I know you guys will probably want more in-depth information. This is probably the biggest sorting machine I've ever seen. It doesn't take up a lot of like, it's not like, it hasn't got a lot of clocks ticking or anything. It does take a little bit of redstone to get working, a lot of nether quartz because of the comparators, but we did a lot of farming to get this going. But once it's set up, then you never have to touch it again. You can always alter the contents. It's not a finicky kind of thing. So anyway, hope you enjoyed, and yeah, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see more next time. I'll give you a bit of a tour around the MINCE server. Thanks for that. Bye.